All right, so in a channel first, this is going to be an international video. I am abroad and I am in Sweden. Basically what I've done is I don't really have a deep knowledge of Swedish cuisine. I mostly just know Swedish meatballs and that's kind of it. Maybe some random fish things. So what I've done is contacted a couple friends that I have in Sweden and asked them sort of what general things that I should look for. And I've sort of assembled a lazy Swedish cook kit. So this is basically just what you can pick up, cook and eat yourself without really needing a kitchen or anything really complicated. So this is basically what you can make for yourself in an Airbnb. So I just put together sort of a wintertime collection of Swedish oddities. Anything that looked interesting or sounded weird, I just picked it up. So that's what we're going to work through today. And we're going to start with something that I think is the most tame, I suppose, and that is this little pastry thing that I've seen everywhere. I don't know if this is specifically for wintertime or if this is around all of the time, but this is called devil's eyes, I guess because, you know, whatever. But these are absolutely everywhere. And then this is like a yulmust, I don't know. So this is like a Christmas drink. It's non-alcoholic, and I have an alcoholic one, but we'll get into that a little later. But this is a Christmas drink and then a pastry. I've not had any of these yet, so we'll give that a go now. Europe, what the hell is this about? Who's this helping? I guess it's some sort of wintertime cola. Ooh, wow. Ugh, it smells like medicine. It's a very powerful smell. Almost like licorice or something like that. And then like star anise and different spices and things. A sweetness to it. Swedes really love licorice as well. It seems to be kind of in too many things. Not as bad as the Danes, though. Huh. I like that. It's kind of interesting. It has a really medicinal smell, but on the palate it's a lot more in balance. Lots of really powerful herbal notes. Some of the sort of sweetness of cola, even though I think that this is utan sugar, so I think that's without sugar. Can't read it. But yeah, it's pretty good. I actually kind of like this. And then this devil's eyes thing, I forgot the name of it. Oh, I thought there would be like a element inside of it or some sort of like stuffing. Nope, just smells plastic. Boring. An overly dense sort of pastry. It feels like this should be way lighter, and it's not. It feels like it should be sweet, and it's not. There's not even like a savory element to it. It's just sort of like a baked packing peanut. There's no spice, there's no sweetness, there's nothing to it. Who's this for? Why? There's no smell. That's terrible. Why is that everywhere? Ugh, whatever. So I guess we're going to transition now into some real food. I guess we'll start with cans. So initially what I wanted to do with this sort of lazy Sweden video was do a lot of cans. But I didn't really find many cans. They don't seem to have a tremendous canned food culture here. But what they do have is a tremendous collection of tubes. Everything is in a tube. So we're going to get to a tube review a little bit later, but I guess we'll start with some canned stuff. So this Pilsner Korv. Look at that guy. Who's this? This looks like it's for someone who, you know, had their last erection in the 1960s. This is really depressing looking. So I imagine that there's just sausages inside. I don't know who this guy is. Bullens. Oh God, it squirted liquid out. Oh. Okay, so there is fat on the inside cap of the lid. A good sign, I guess. And then, it's like the end of a first date when the woman's just disappointed. You expected more. It smells okay, I guess. So also part of the tubular element here is mustards. And this is the mustard I've been using, which is Sluts mustard? Sluts? So I'll use this. It's sort of like a punchy honey mustard. It's really cool. Okay, so the only good thing about that was the mustard. Probably should have tried it without first. It's like a Vienna sausage with a casing. It's not like a legit sausage. Oh, it like squeaks against my teeth. Yeah, it's like a Vienna sausage inside of a casing. Really weird. Not the worst thing I've ever had, but I definitely don't want to revisit this, so... Mid. Next, we have something that looked absolutely horrific. So this is Norrlandspulska. I'm saying all of this wrong, and I'm sorry. When I looked this up online, this came up as Swedish haggis. And when I translated the list of ingredients, it was like lungs and heart and blood and all of this stuff. So, super dense. So it's a northern sausage. That's apparently what that says. So, this could be grim. Sort of what I've noticed is that things look really wild here, but the taste tends to be a little dull. So, there's tons of weird salads and things like that. Shrimp is on everything, little shrimps, like on cakes and stuff. And then there's just like a rainbow of multicolored paste, salad, creams type stuff. It's just like really weird. Oh. Let's just dive right in. Oh, God. So there's a fat cap on top, and then you get into this... Okay, it does smell very haggis. So yeah, there's the fat cap. Oh, it's got like the consistency of butter. Okay. Lowered expectations. Really weird smell. Really weird texture. So creamy. I don't know how you would be able to heat this up. You couldn't cut it. It would like... Doesn't really need a bread. Because it's got some sort of carb in there. Like the can has like an egg and maybe a beet. A boiled whole beet. Yeah, like... Just a paste with like barley in it. I think I feel barley. It's not bad. It's just underseasoned, terribly underseasoned. There's no real flavor in it. It needs like onions or some sort of veg. It's just like organ meat ground into a paste. I don't hate it, but I don't see why I would ever eat this again. All right, so not as offensive as I thought. But there you go. Northern sausage in a can. We're going to transition into something that I actually enjoy, and these are Swedish meatballs. But these are the ones in a can. So I haven't tried these yet, but I've been having these. Köttbullar. Is that a guy climbing a tree outside? Oh no. It's two guys in the woods. And it's awesome. These are so good. The texture is fantastic. The flavor is great. I think with that gravy sauce, it would be even better. But even not heating them up, I heat them up sometimes. These are fantastic. I think this is the best thing that Sweden has, cuisine-wise. But I've not compared them to the canned version. Okay, so this is super thick. Oh, there's like a skin on top of it. Much softer. Way less spiced as well. So the gravy doesn't add a tremendous amount to it. I thought that it would be a bit richer. But in this case, I think that I'm actually going to microwave these just to give them a better comparison. By the way, after several years in Ukraine, it is super weird to hear aviation. It makes me freak out a little bit. Ugh. Not gonna die. Unless these meatballs kill me. Alright, so this and some of these, we're gonna nuke them. So while those slightly too big bowls are riding inside of their microwave carousel, I guess we'll review this Christmas beer. So this is a Julburgerd. Okay, I know that beer here is öl, so I thought it would be like julöl. Also, Sweden has really weird laws around alcohol. You can buy alcohol only if it's under 3.5%. Otherwise, you have to go to sort of like a state-run store, and they have really weird hours. So if you plan on drinking in Sweden, and you don't want to pay bar prices, which are like bananas, make sure that you go by these like state-run stores. Also, I want to give a huge shout out to my friend who has actually helped me sort of arrange this stuff and has answered some of my stupid questions. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, but Andrew? Very Swedish name. So, the sound of sadness. We'll review this beer and then we'll get into our meatballs. Christmas beer. Smells like a spiced pumpkin beer almost. Yeah, it tastes like a sort of a Sam Adams Oktoberfest kind of thing. It's got like holiday spice notes to it, cinnamon, star anise, that type of thing. Cute little bottle, little angry guy. Not bad, pretty good actually. Time for the meatballs. So we're going to start with our canned ones first. Quite hot, but the texture really hasn't changed much. Still sort of gelatinous. Maybe you're supposed to cook it further, or maybe there's just some emulsification agent in here that's sort of holding it all together. But we'll give it a go. The texture's been improved by heating it up, but it's still a little dull. It's just really underwhelming. It's way too soft. It doesn't have that like sort of crust around it. For a canned food, super good. I think that the Swedish meatballs are the best thing that I've had here. I haven't tried a tremendous amount of stuff just because everything here is expensive. But the meatballs have been really good. So, not bad. Then we have these. Again, the texture's just so much more improved. If you just get them in the bag, you know, even pre-made, the difference is pretty tremendous. Whoops. I love these. The blend of the meats, I think it's both beef and pork, and then some very gentle spice profile in here. It's not designed to overwhelm. The texture is just gorgeous. It's just so good. It's crazy how much food in Sweden is just so bizarre and alien, and then they just nailed these beautiful meatballs. Like, these would give Italy a run for their money. So even if you're traveling through and you don't want to cook, pick up a bag of these if you have a microwave at your Airbnb. Eating good for pretty cheap. Great. Fantastic. Fish meatballs. So these are fish meatballs in a dill sauce. Do not have high hopes for this, but I guess we'll figure it out. I do like fish balls in Vietnamese soups and things like that, so I'm not sort of categorically opposed to it. I'm just really concerned at what the Swedes consider a fish meatball. Getting some kind of weird deja vu. It's very, very creamy. Like, oh, it's like a New England clam chowder. It smells like clam chowder. So they look like scallops. Okay, so there's like a sauce that's similar to cream chowder plus dill. It's really thick. All right. It doesn't smell bad. I thought it would smell worse. So I guess we're going to try these. The flavor is very benign. It's boring, I would say. But this is like texturally weird. I don't even know what is going on here. It's very, very dull. Yeah, it's just like a pressed meat. Tastes boiled. No spices. All I taste is dill and then like a cream. Ugh, God. Maybe some sort of starch element holding it all together. Texturally weird, flavor's very dull. I'm not repulsed by it, but ugh, no thank you. And while we're on the topic of fish, there's sill. I'm saying this wrong again. So this is herring, I believe. And it is everywhere. It seems to be the only fish in this entire country. So this is with sort of a vinegar and onion sauce, maybe balsamic. Anyone who's watched the channel knows that I have a very interesting relationship with fish. So this might be a little more difficult for me than it would be for other people. Oh, Swedish fish. The texture of the fish is really weird. It sort of like collapses into a paste. But the flavor of this is sort of like balsamic vinegar with the onion and the black peppercorn. Really cool. I think that if the fish were fresh, like if you made this at home, and just sort of marinated it for a couple hours and the fish maintained sort of its texture a bit, it would be really good. So I enjoy the flavor. It's just the texture of the fish is off. ABBA, love your music, hate your fish. Okay. I figured that with my love of mustard, this would be a good one. I think that this is mustard with that same fish, the herring. So give this a go. What in the Kentucky Fried Fuck? Oh. All right, so apparently they child-proof their fish. This sauce is way thicker, so it's sort of gelatinous already. I guess we'll get in there. Ooh. Oh. It smells like honey mustard mayo, so it's really got a sweeter profile than I would prefer to have. It seems mostly skin. Let's get a thicker. Okay. Exact same issue as with the other fish. The texture is awful. It just sort of collapses. The sauce is way too sweet. Way too sweet. You want your mustard to have sort of a kick, and this is like a honey mustard. It's more honey than mustard. And just texturally, it's poor. I think that like a mustard sauce with a fish would be great if you really lean into the mustard, but this is too sweet. Oh. God ale med malt kraktar, torts to karlen pid kuk, whatever. So I think that takes us to the tubes, finally. So this is our tubular tube review. And we're going to start with everyone's favorite, a cheese shrimp paste. I am not kidding. This was recommended by a few people, and apparently this is not a trick for foreigners. It is a cheese shrimp paste. You get like a hard cracker, and then I guess you just go to town. Oh, it's got little chunks in it. Oh, I don't know what the chunks are, shrimp or fish or cheese. Smells benign, so there's no real like pungent aroma from it, cheese or seafood. I smell the cracker more, so. It's not bad, it's just a little boring. I'm not getting much of the seafood element, just very cheap cheese. I thought it would be like more polarizing, sort of like a very specific flavor. But this seems kind of benign. Rockost. Okay, and then to follow this up, I think this is probably the most popular brand next to the Marabou, like chocolate, in Sweden. So the Haggis. So I think this is just cheese. Halbart fisk und lava. So okay, so this is like a cheese paste, or a fish paste. I thought this was cheese. Because fisk is fish, and there's a little picture of a fish? I don't know why I thought this was cheese. Oh my god. Oh my god. What is this texture? Wow. That's kind of creepy. Is this caviar? Okay, so the boy, he's eating this paste, and it seems like there's like butter under it or something. Why would you need fat? I don't know. I don't know. Don't know. Whoa. Wow. It's like anchovy paste. I was tricked by the little boy into thinking it would be really tame food. But oh my god. Oh, it's so fishy. Oh, it's so fishy. Oh, Jesus. I kind of respect this more than the shrimp paste, because the shrimp paste really too bland. But this, they want you to know that you got a fish in your mouth. Oh my god. It's like a little 8-year-old kid just like, yeah, fish jizz. Gotta love it, waka waka. Rokt sandersalat från fan tusk fiskar rapsöyle sucker. This is the most interesting thing that I've had today. I don't like it, but I gotta give them props for really doing something interesting. So the other stuff, if it's not good, it's just not good and boring. But that's something special. If you see this, give it a go. I think this is probably a love it or hate it thing. And maybe you need it in your childhood, but super interesting stuff. Cool. Haggis. All right, so next up we have I think that this is a blue cheese paste. All of them are pastes. Obviously, they're in a tube. But this is there's a mild one, and I think this one is the strong one. So this is a blue cheese paste, and maybe if you mixed it with the fish paste, it would be good, but ew, pungent, stings the nostrils. Yeah, that's a really powerful smell. Not like the fish one. That other one that really had a kick. Oh, sorry. So that's really interesting. It's sort of like a liquefied Roquefort cheese in a spread, or like a hyper concentrated blue cheese wing dressing, something like that. This is actually pretty good. In terms of being like a standalone sort of flavor, I don't think that this is very good. It's just like really bizarre. It would be like eating tomato paste on a cracker. It needs something else, maybe some sort of protein or something. So I don't think this is a standalone thing. I wouldn't recommend eating it as sort of a tourist in an Airbnb, but maybe if you have some sort of protein. I don't think it would be good with the meatballs either. No, the meatballs are too fatty. The spread is too fatty. I think it needs like a leaner protein, like a roast beef or something. I know that roast beef's not incredibly lean, but roast beef, chicken breast, something like that. Something spicy. I think that this would really balance with it. So this is interesting. This is really interesting. Props to this. I'm probably not eating it right because I feel like it's missing something. But if you like blue cheese, you'll love this. So, oddest, utskort. And then for our final tube review, we have Isbjornens. So this should be caviar, but maybe that other paste with the little boy on it was caviar. Damn it. Yes, it's exactly the same. Son of a bitch. Okay. So I guess that the first paste was a caviar paste when I thought it was a cheese. I guess that's my dumbass fault for assuming that, yellow font equals cheese. So you can see, like, this is the one with the bear. Yerbudurst. And then this is the haggis. So I think that the haggis has a better texture. This feels a little more natural, I guess, less processed. This feels more processed. Both incredibly, brutally strong smells. God. The more I smell it, the more it smells just like cat food. Again, way too salty. Way too salty. Oh, so salty. So fishy. Oh, so intense. I don't know if I like one or the other more. I don't even think I can differentiate them. Oh, it's so intense. I think I'm putting too much on, maybe. But the little boy in the picture is a shitload. So that's too much. That's way too much. Okay. Not great. Not great. So as we transition into desserts and our final phase of Lazy Sweden, we have Arbo. So this is probably the Bud Light of beer, but it's not light. It's 7%, extra stark. I asked the guy at the alcohol store what the most popular beer was in Sweden. Not the best, not the most interesting, but the one that was sold the most by volume. What do Swedes drink the most? And he said this. So this is the extra stark, extra strong version of it. And when beer costs, like $5 a can, you really got to get your money's worth. And if you're out at a bar, it's like $12 for like this much beer, like So about a standard can of beer, it's like $12. It's absolutely insane. And also, so this beer is called Arbo, but they also have Abro. Apparently, word on the street is that Eminem came to Sweden and tried to pronounce the Arbo, and I might be saying that wrong, and he said Abro. So they made Hey Bro beer. The same brewery makes it, so I think that they're the same. Arbo, the most popular beer for Swedes that just want to get drunk. Oh, yeah. That's terrible. That's really bad. It's not the worst I've had, but that's bad. This is definitely a beer that Losha would love, and Vlad, guests on the channel before. Just sort of absolutely without character, without dimension. It's not terrible, so it's not spoiled. It has no sort of negative flavors or anything to it. It's just a cheap, yucky beer. Final stretch, guys. We're almost there. So now we're going to try some fun stuff. All of this stuff looks so cool, and I just picked it because it has funny names. So non-stop. And this is Marbo. I've had their original Marbo, and if you get the chance, like, Marbo is awesome. It's such a good candy. So I guess these are like Swedish M&Ms. Oh. The candy shell actually has some sort of flavor to it. Like M&M is like benign. And the chocolate inside is like incredibly high quality. God, this is really good. I'm not much of a sweets guy, but you walk past a pastry shop or something like that in Sweden, and they've got some really interesting stuff going on. I don't know what any of it is, but pretty good. Swedish M&Ms, non-stop. And then we have Plop. Ploop, plop. There's no way that you could say this correctly and not have it be funny. So any version of it would be hilarious. That's why I chose it. So Plop.
You will be called Plop. What? Why? Because you're always taking dumps. No, I'm not.
Plop. Plop, plop, fizz, fizz. Oh, what a relief it is. So there seems to be some sort of like liquid inside of here, or caramel. Oh, wow. Caramel filling inside of it. That's super good. For something called Plop, it's definitely better than you would think it is. Awesome. Nothing like chasing your fish paste and 7% alcohol beer with some really awesome chocolate. I think my stomach has no idea what's coming next. Smash! I have no idea what this is, but it looks like a chocolate-covered bugle. But again, the name, just hilarious. Smash. Soot, salt, and sprout. Don't know what any of those words are, except salt. I think I managed to suss out that one. So it is like a chocolate-covered bugle. Oh. It is exactly a chocolate-covered bugle. Exactly. In fact, the bugle element has some sort of like mild spice to it. Wow. Smash. That is super interesting. I really like that. That's very cool. I'd smash. Okay, so next up we have Pig All. Pig All. Another Marabou. Some sort of bar. Oh, and two. Excellent. Oh, it's really soft. It's like a nougat inside, but it's so fluffy. Like liquefies. It's almost like a chocolate marshmallow. I don't like this. There's some like crunch element in it. It's sort of like a Nestle's Crunch Bar, but fluffier. To me, it's just overly sweet with a weird texture. Don't really like that. Pig All. No. Not bad, just too one-dimensional. It's just like eating a brick of sugar. There's a lot of these sort of like marshmallowy type things everywhere. And this says Yule Scum. Yule Scum. What? The original from 1967. Original sedan. Oh. Ugh. It's like a really weird citrus smell. I don't know why I'm even looking at the ingredients. Any English? Yes. Nothing here that is strawberry related, and that's citric, so that's citric acid. This is probably going to be weird. Yule Scum. And it's a little Saint Nick, or a gnome. Oh. It's like somehow worse than a circus peanut. Gah, gross. All right, and then for the last, we have Maribo black licorice. So almost anything Maribo is going to be amazing. And I mentioned a little bit earlier how licorice kind of finds its way into really weird stuff. So this is going to be chocolate with licorice. I don't know how these two are going to play together. So could be good, could be bad. No hint of licorice yet, but I see it hiding inside the chocolate. Really licoricey bite. Okay, this one's got a ton of licorice in it. All right. Oh, it's hard licorice. This is fascinating. It's really, really interesting. I like licorice. It's okay. And this chocolate is amazing. But the combination of the two is really fascinating. Especially with like the sort of textures, and then as the heat from your mouth sort of liquefies it, and then you chew into that licorice. It's a really, really interesting combination of flavors. Pretty cool. Don't know if I would do this again. I don't think I would buy this one again, but I wouldn't be upset if someone gave it to me. So, neat. All right, guys, so that was Lazy Sweden, a sort of a review of some of the drinks and snacks and tubed pastes that you can pick up in Sweden. So if you're sort of a first-time traveler coming through and you want to find something quick and easy, this is the sort of the best stuff that you can get. The meatballs are by far the best. The mustards that I use, I didn't use one in the video, but I have one just sort of around. Super awesome. If you like fish, there's a lot of fish options. I don't think that the texture is really great, so I think that I would stick with the meatballs. And then it seems that almost any sweet that you get in Sweden would be amazing. So I guess that's pretty much it for the Swedish review. There's just one more thing to touch on, but I think that this is going to be a topic for another video because this bad boy needs sort of a spotlight on it. If you know, you know. This is surströmming, and we're going to talk about this in another video. But thank you guys very much. Thank you to the people of Sweden. So your food is really interesting. Your people are really hospitable. It's really nice that everyone speaks English, and it's super clean. So Sweden, thank you very much. I hope to come back one day, maybe in the summer. But that was Lazy Sweden. Those are the foods that you can get. I hope that you try some of this. I hope that there are some Swedish people watching that can sort of point me in directions I should go next time. So again, thank you guys very much for supporting the channel. Thank you for watching, and till next time. Traditionellt mild rockert kaviar, midost, sauvet större matinera. Perfect Swedish. Don't even have an accent.